Yeah, now we get to the exciting part, writing zoning code text amendments. So thanks for coming by. Um, so my name's Tom Drzazgowski. I'm the chief zoning inspector, and I have a few slides that I came up with, but I'm here to talk about the changes to the zoning code in regards to signs. And do we have any of those slides? There we go. Let's go to the next one. Our zoning code in regards to signs is completely outdated. It was last updated in 1985. And we are in the process, and we have been in the process for approximately the last 6 to 8 months of updating it. The main reason for our updating of it is because there was a Supreme Court decision right up the road in Phoenix, in actually the town of Gilbert, that had to do with regulating content of signs. And the Supreme Court said, we can't do that anymore. So that's why we're changing the sign code. Let's go to the next slide. What's the process that we're going through? We're kind of in the first bullet point here. We're meeting with stakeholders prior to drafting the code. In the past, what we've done is we've proposed changes to codes, wrote something down, then met with stakeholders, and this time we're starting from the very beginning. We've met with a bunch of stakeholders. We've met with business groups, astronomies, small business groups, sign companies. We've met with them all to solicit feedback on what would be items that they would look for in changes to the code. So we're in that portion right now. We're actually getting close to releasing a proposed draft. At that point, what we'll do is go back and meet with the stakeholders to solicit other feedback and comments, and then revise it as needed. After that, we'll begin the public process in front of what we call the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Board of Supervisors, who will ultimately approve any changes to the sign code. We expect that to be done sometime by the end of this year or early next year, with the new changes going into effect shortly after that. Next one. A couple of the highlights that we've come up with already. We're looking to provide benefits for exceptional design. A lot of times you're around town and you see that sign that's got the metal ironwork, the cool rock facade. Those are the things we're trying to encourage, and so we'll actually be proposing increases in size, increases in height when they meet this exceptional design criteria. We're also looking for opportunities for win-win. One of the stakeholders that we've been interacting with a lot is the observatories in town. We're all familiar with the benefits that they provide to the community. And one of their major concerns has been light output and how it adversely affects what they're trying to accomplish. But the interesting thing is that the size of the sign does not affect them as much as the light output. And we think there's an opportunity for a win-win here, where we can limit the lumens and the nits that are put out by the sign. Those are light items, and provide benefits to the business community by providing potentially larger sizes, so we have a win-win opportunity. The last thing we're looking for is more uniformity. Some of the other jurisdictions around town have already proposed changes and have implemented changes to their sign code. We've been using the Marana Town Code as a basis for our changes, and have taken a lot of their ideas that we think are pretty good, and trying to incorporate them into our proposed changes. I think that's all I have. Questions or any comments? That's all I have. Nope.
Does anybody have any questions for Tom? So Tom, if someone has some thought about sign code, can they email you directly, or is there another place they should send their comments?
You can definitely email me directly. Lucretia has my contact information. I'm intricately involved in the changes and working with my staff as we go through the process.
Good. And I'll include that in the materials that I'll be sending out to everyone.